Good morning, welcome to this week's vlog. Sorry for whispering, it's still really early and I am going to work soon, but right now it's 5:45 and I am sitting down to do 5 or 10 minutes of memorize. I really would love to do that. I actually really wanted to do more Italian this morning, but yesterday I started reading Running Wild by Kay Tucker and I absolutely love that book. So this morning I spent another 30-ish minutes reading and I don't regret it. I absolutely love it. So I think now I'm gonna do 10-ish minutes of memorize and then just go to work. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and yeah, I'm gonna show you my language learning this week. Hi, it is Monday evening. I just came back from work and I had a small dinner and I am having coffee. It's almost 7 p.m. and I think the only language thing I'm gonna do today is finishing my January recap. So I basically wrote a recap, and for most of my languages, I need to write about one language. And that's probably it. I'm probably gonna be just spending the rest of the night reading Running Wild by Kay Tucker because I love that book. I love that series so much. It's one of my favorite series, if not my favorite series. Definitely my favorite romance series. So I have no regrets. So yeah, but also I really want to finish listening to the podcast that I started this morning. I started listening to a psychiatric podcast in Lithuanian and I have about 15 minutes left and it's actually really, really interesting and I'm surprised how much I can understand. I am so happy. So that's probably the only language things I'm gonna be doing, but tomorrow I actually have my like work schedule has changed a little bit, and instead of working on Wednesday nights, I now work on Tuesday nights, and so I have Tuesday mornings off. So yeah, that's a little change. So tomorrow morning I'm gonna have lots of language studying. So now let's finish the recap. And I actually really loved writing it yesterday because I think recapping your languages and like reviewing your progress is such a big motivation, and you can see what you did wrong and what you did good, and not just like spend 5 months running and doing the same thing over and over again and just then realize that it was wrong. So instead you can do it every week or every month. I prefer doing it every month, and yeah, it's actually really, really cool. So let's finish that. Alright, so it is Tuesday. I am at my desk again, and actually, it was really hard for me to wake up this morning, but I've already listened to 40 minutes of audiobook. I've listened to my Bible this morning actually because I couldn't wake up and I couldn't open my eyes. And then I had shower, I had breakfast, and I actually also read for 1 hour. I freaking love Running Wild by Kay Tucker. I love that series so much, and I really want to do my 10 minutes of memorize. And I also listened for 10 minutes of a podcast in Lithuanian while I was preparing my breakfast because I really want to build those habits where I integrate language into my life. For example, like, the habit stacking, like okay, I'm gonna build a habit of 10 minutes of memorize every morning, but I also really want to build a habit where, for example, when I cook breakfast, I always listen to Lithuanian podcasts, or when I cook lunch, I always listen to Italian content. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's do memorize, and then we'll see what I do. I really need to do Spanish and German today. I just did about 40-ish minutes of Spanish, and I think it is time to work out. My brain is not really working today, but I am still struggling to find the best resource. So what I was doing was I listened to a podcast episode about Ya and Todavia, and I'm now like reading through it. And what I like about this podcast, it's Fluent in Spanish podcast, is that there is a Spanish text, and then beside it there is English text. So if you're not confident enough, you can read the English text as well. So that is really helpful. But what I was also trying to do was actually like reading it out loud and pronouncing it correctly, and just trying to pronounce it with the accent, because I am trying to pronounce everything very clearly, but that is not how Spanish people speak. They have a very like weird accent, and I really want that accent. And yeah, I don't know. I am struggling with my Spanish a little bit, and yesterday I watched a video about whether it is smart to study multiple languages at once. And as you know, I am studying 3 and now 4 languages at a time, and I was contemplating whether I should just stop for a little bit, maybe like take a month where I focus on one language. And I loved how the guy in the video said how if you take that time that you split between 2, 3, or 4 languages, and you just focus on one language, obviously you're gonna progress a lot faster, and then you can move to the next language. And it's very tempting, but at the same time it feels like waste of time. But I don't know, if I find a perfect Spanish resource for myself, I might do that. Not saying that I'm gonna completely stop learning or listening to content in other languages, or like repeating vocabulary or anything like that, but actively studying one language, it sounds tempting, but it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm just a little bit confused. I am so tired today. It feels like the end of the week, and actually this morning I woke up with a huge headache, so I wasn't pushing myself to do memorize. I only did like a five-ish minutes, maybe even less. And yeah, right now I feel a lot better, but I'm kind of like tired and lazy, and I know if I just lay in bed and even if I like start scrolling through Pinterest, for example, I will turn on a podcast in either Spanish or Italian or Lithuanian or even German, I don't know. But yeah, and it's not a big deal. It's okay. But at the same time, I also know that if I go on Memrise, or if I do start doing this textbook, I will just do it, and it will be okay, and I will feel motivated and energized, and it will be good. So I don't know what I should be doing, so I will probably do like about 15-ish minutes of this one. I kind of really want to go back and see what I did, and kind of like review all of these 6 chapters that I did previously, because I am now at the beginning of chapter 7, so I can go back and check everything. But also I really want to do memorize, but I also wanted to continue and like start the new chapter. So I think I might do a little bit of this, and then maybe a little bit of memorize, and then just listen to maybe Spanish podcast or something. I don't know. a 35-minute session. I did a little bit of my textbook, as you saw, and then I started doing Memrise, but after 15-ish minutes of Memrise, I started realizing that my brain is just not working anymore. But I actually pretty enjoyed doing this. As you saw, I was reading, and it's actually a really great practice. And what I've decided to do, what I like to do actually, is to do 1 or 1.5 pages of a textbook, like one activity. For example, this was just the reading, and then there are phrases and vocabulary on the other side. So I'm doing that, and then I'm gonna come back and review that instead of having a 1 hour study session and skimming through the entire chapter and like not really learning anything. But instead, the next time I open this textbook, I will be doing going over, maybe reading again and see how much I can understand this time. And yeah, because these texts are pretty simple. But yeah, I think I will see you tomorrow, because usually on Thursdays I go to youth group. Well, that's usually. I haven't gone there in January at all because I was tired and then I was sick. And this Thursday, I think we don't have youth group because COVID is spreading really fast in Latvia. It's like you get COVID, everybody around you gets COVID. Like, it's just insane right now. So I don't think we'll have youth group. So yeah, tomorrow I will just do another study session if I don't feel too bad. And or maybe I'll just do something chilling, like, maybe watch something or something. Right now I think I'm gonna read for 30-ish minutes. I am halfway through Running Wild and I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, I just will see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Friday and I don't have classes this week, thankfully, but I have so many things to do today that it's a little bit overwhelming, and I have some documents to sign and like some papers and stuff. But this week I feel very tired after COVID. I feel like squeezed lemon. I don't know. It wasn't even hard week at work because we only had 8 kids in our group this week, which is not a lot, but I was still so tired. And yesterday actually I didn't film anything because in the morning I did listen to Spanish and German podcast episodes, but that's about it. And I think I also did a little bit of Memrise of Italian, but that's it. And in the evening there was youth group, but I didn't go because I came home, and then the guy, like our youth pastor, he texted that youth group starts at 7:20 instead of like before 7. So I was like, no, I'm way too tired. And I actually went to bed after 8 and I fell asleep, and I was sleeping until 6-ish this morning. But anyway, it is 9 o'clock right now and I need to do so many things, but I also really want to do language stuff today. I will definitely be doing lots of language stuff, hopefully. And I have a few kind of exciting things to share with you. Number one is that I am going back to learning German. I will film an entire video explaining why I decided to go back and my plan and what I'm going to be doing and everything. But with that comes a little bit of like a dilemma and like struggle. I've been thinking about whether I should continue learning this many languages at the same time. And really, Lithuanian is like, I love learning Lithuanian, but at this moment I don't know if it's very necessary for me to spend that time like sitting down and actually learning from the grammar book, or is it smarter to actually just consume Lithuanian content and learn new vocabulary from the content? I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do, because four languages feels like so much, and I am afraid that if I continue, I don't have that much time. And obviously, if I have, let's say, I don't know, 7 hours a week for language learning, and if I divide those 7 hours into 4 languages, my progress is going to be a lot slower than if I spend those 7 hours on one or two languages. So I think I should just focus on one language at a time. And it's not that I'm not going to be doing like Memrise or podcasts or YouTube in other languages. I'm still gonna like consume content and kind of like learn passively other languages, but I should probably focus on, I don't know, let's say like Spanish for February, Italian for March, German for April, Lithuanian for May, and still continue learning all of those other languages, but just in a smaller amount. And maybe that way I see a lot more progress a lot faster. I don't know, like let me know what you think about this. And do you learn multiple languages, or do you prefer to learning one language? Because what I've been seeing on YouTube, I've watched a few videos where people talk about whether it is smart to learn multiple languages at the same time and all of them say that, of course, if you only learn one language, you're gonna see progress a lot faster. But on the other hand, I'm kind of afraid that I'm gonna start kind of like going backwards with all of my other languages. And also, I just don't know. I feel like it's a waste of time. I could be learning all of those four languages, but I'm just wasting time on one language. But then on the other hand, it's like it doesn't mean that I stop loving all of the other languages. It doesn't mean that I stop learning them. It doesn't mean that I stop improving in them. It just means that in 1 month I do focus on one language, and let's say I do I don't know, let's say I do 40 hours of language learning a month, and then like 20 of those hours would be towards the one language, and then all of the other 20 is going to be divided between the three, and it's still going to be a lot, but my main focus will be on one language. And like I just don't know. See, it's a dilemma, so I don't know what to do. I've been thinking, but I think actually that I will try to focus on Spanish in February and kind of have all of those other languages on the back burner. So like really, I am just really struggling with this. And yeah, I think I'm gonna start with all of my documents. I need to like sort the sick list that I was on a sick list last week. I still haven't done that because they had some technical issues and I can't go on the system and like do it. It says that I didn't have any sick lists, but anyway, like I just need to do a bunch of stuff. And also I need to sign the paper for my thesis so that my teacher can sign it and I can finally send it to the faculty and start working on my thesis. It's a lot of work and it's overwhelming. And yeah, okay, let's begin, and I will come to you when I do decide anything about languages, or like when I start finally doing something about languages. Well, hello to the daily check-in. I did not do much yesterday. I didn't learn much. I did a ton of other stuff and I spent a lot of time reading. And actually early this morning, I finished Running Wild by Kay Tucker and I absolutely loved it. It was so amazing. So go read it. It was fantastic. As far as language learning goes, I have changed my mind again, and I have actually created a tier system, and I've changed my mind about Spanish being my priority for this month. I've decided that from now on, Italian will be my priority, and I will do Italian every single day, or at least I will attempt to. And then the rest of the languages that I am learning, I will be doing for example, like Lithuanian, like Monday and Thursday, Spanish Tuesday and Friday, German Wednesday and Saturday, and then Sunday is going to be like very flexible. But of course, if I have a desire to do German on Monday, I can do it, you know. But yeah, I was like contemplating and just like really thinking about it, and I am a very indecisive person, so this is taking me such long time to make this decision. But I have come to a conclusion that I am loving Italian so much, and it's just pulling me that I really want to get fluent in Italian first. And you know, I was thinking, well, Catherine, you've been learning Spanish for so long. You should just get fluent in Spanish first and then focus on Italian, because I've been learning Italian only for a year and a half now. And how can you want to get fluent in Italian first if you've been learning Spanish for so many years? But this is not a race. This is a lifelong journey, and I don't care if I get fluent in Spanish in 2 years or in 5 years. As long as I get there, fantastic. So yeah, let me show you the spread that I created in my language bullet journal, and then we will do something because I have a bunch of free time today. So this is how it looks. I didn't come up with it. It was in Robin McPherson's video. Go check it out. I will try to leave it down below. It's a really great video, and I've included other hobbies that I have because I was finding that I don't have time for reading or working out as much. So I put tier 1 is basically your number 1 priorities, and then tier 2 is like things that you also really care about, and tier 3 is things that can be like really flexible. But yeah, I put Italian and reading, those things I want to do every single day, and then tier 2 are things that will just change, and then tier 3 is doesn't have a certain day that I need to do them. It's just what I want to do. Hopefully it works. I don't know if it works, we will see. It is 1 o'clock and it is finally time to start Italian, and honestly, I was afraid that this exact thing is going to happen, where the loop of productive month and lazy month and productive month and lazy month is going to continue, because I feel very lazy. And it's not that I haven't spent time on learning languages, and you will see throughout this vlog that I did spend time this week, and it's not like today is February 5th, and it's not like I have spent only 20 minutes of learning languages this entire month, It is not that, but just the feeling, I don't know how to explain this. It's really hard to explain, but just the feeling that I am lazy, it continues. So it's been going on since September. So September, November, January were super productive, and then October, December, and now February feels like so lazy, and I don't know how to overcome it. So yeah, it is time to do some Italian. So let's smash it. I just did 30 minutes of this textbook, and I am really enjoying it, and I would continue, but because I have chosen this to be my main resource, as well as memorize, I don't want to spend hours and hours learning and just like going through topic because they are pretty short and I just don't want to skim through them. I want them to really sink in. And yeah, I really want to make myself coffee or tea and eat something. And while I do that, I will be listening to the podcast. I've been listening to Lithuanian podcast and I'm absolutely loving it. It's about books and writers, and it's basically like interviews with writers. And I am really, really enjoying it. And when I thought that I should just go make myself coffee and listen to the podcast, a thought occurred to me. Basically, maybe I feel lazy during some months because I consume more content, like listening more and watching more and maybe reading more instead of just sitting down at my desk and learning so much. Because last month in January I was learning so much on my desk. I really wanted to. There's nothing bad with it, you know. If you really want it, that's nothing bad, but you also shouldn't be pushing yourself to do it. So those months when I don't feel like I'm doing much, maybe it's because I can't really document it. You know, it's actually becoming really hard for me to document my language learning throughout the day for you guys, because it's literally just taking my headphones and going to the kitchen and cooking or cleaning around the house and like doing stuff around the house, doing different chores or plant chores or whatever, or watching YouTube, and I can't really film that. And then at the end of the day, it feels like I haven't done anything. But honestly, even listening and reading and just consuming content, it is very essential. For example, yesterday I started listening to that podcast episode that I'm gonna finish today, that Lithuanian one. It's really long. So, and I was listening, and he was speaking about writing his first draft of his novel, and I heard word juodraštis, and I've never heard that word, but it's basically like the first draft, the either of essay or book or anything like. And I could understand it without even sitting at my desk and checking the translation in the dictionary. And the same happened again yesterday when I was scrolling through Instagram. And I love plants, as you guys know, and I follow Firefly in the Room, and on her Instagram she has hashtags Jonvabalis Kambaryje, and I've never understood what Jonvabalis Kambaryje means until yesterday. It occurred to me that Jonvabalis Kambaryje is Firefly in the Room, literally just like her name in Lithuanian and her name in English, and I didn't need the translation. It just like clicked in my head, you know? So even if you are just listening to podcasts or just listening to movies, YouTube, whatever, you're just, I don't know, maybe listening to songs, and then you hear a word. And my point here is that it doesn't mean that in order to make progress, in order to learn new vocabulary, in order to learn and pick up grammar points, you need to sit down at your desk. It doesn't make you more or less productive. I hope it makes sense. I don't know. I need coffee. Hey guys, so we just got back from church. It was awesome, and now I'm gonna have lunch and start learning languages. I don't know what I'm gonna do today, but it's definitely going to be something. Definitely gonna do Italian, and then I feel like doing some German, even though I also should do some Spanish. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't. It is quite some time later. I actually spent some time reading, and then I was editing this video, and I also did Memrise, but I didn't film it because I've been filming so much Memrise this week. It's embarrassing. And yeah, I love Memrise. I use it so much, and it's actually very helpful for me. I just love it. But yeah, I think for the rest of the evening I am just going to be doing a little bit of Italian, and I don't think I'm gonna film it because this video is already way too long. And then I also really want to do some German, but you will see that in another video, so keep an eye out for that if it's something you're interested in. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful. It was a glimpse of what my week of learning languages looks like, and yeah, this week was definitely full of mental dilemmas and struggles, but I think I'm slowly figuring things out. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you very soon. Bye!